What's up, everybody? Welcome to Sports Rants with Abby and friends. And today, the friends.
Just the friends.
It's me, Fly Guy, and I'm with my boy here, Sean. And man, how was your weekend, man?
It was good, man. I went 6 for 6 on my predictions, so that feels pretty good.
That is.
I think you went 5 for 6, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I think we both picked San Fran, right? And then Abby picked the Eagles to win that game.
Uh-huh.
So that was cool. I was hoping Carolina got the upset for the Rams, but man, I was watching football all day, every day for the whole weekend. That's all I did this weekend was watch sports.
I mean, they hit us with a great weekend of football specifically, right? Like,
oh yeah,
Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. It was just
we literally had just sports galore, which was awesome. It was awesome to be able to just tune in and enjoy it, you know, like it was real playoff football too, because every game except, I mean, even the New England game was still good up until a certain point, but every game was just a nail biter, you know, like nothing was a blowout except for the Texans, who I think we think is the best team in the AFC, but we'll get to that a little bit later. But yeah, man, that was what a treat, right?
Oh, I mean, it started off, I mean, there was some blowouts, of course, right? But all in all, like those first 4 games specifically were like one score games, you know, captivating, had I would assume everybody's interest that was watching, even the casual fan. That's a win for the league as a whole. And you know, now that we got the first round out of the way, wild card weekend, we are looking ahead to the divisional round and, you know, the final 8 teams that are left, vying for that wonderful Super Bowl championship.
Yeah.
I don't know what you want to start off with. Do you want to jump into the reactions from the last week's games? And then
we could probably talk about the games first and then go from there. There's a lot of good games, so I'd really like to just jump into them, you know?
Yeah. I mean, you want to take them in order or the
yeah, let's start with the Rams game and just work our way down, just because it'll be easier that way. But yeah, that Rams game. Did you watch all the games?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I thought the Panthers were going to win. I'm not going to lie to you. And quite frankly, if they had a defensive coordinator that knew not to run prevent defense, I think they would have. I mean, it was just a pathetic that last drive by the Rams. I mean, they just did whatever they wanted, and they shouldn't have been able to do that.
100%. What do they say? Playing prevent defense prevents you from winning.
Yeah, I mean, they're driving the whole field. It's like 3 minutes left with 3 timeouts, right? In what world are we running prevent defense and giving up 10-plus yards every single play? It's Matthew Stafford and the Rams. Blitz, rush 6, make him make a play. You know, they were making him have to make plays all games, you know? And honestly, Puka saved the game punching the ball out with about, I think it was like 13 or 11 minutes left in the fourth.
Yeah.
It should have been a pick. And I think that turned into 7 points on that drive. And if he didn't make that Julio Jones-esque play where he went after the ball instead of not paying attention, I think we would have been talking about a different outcome in this game. But, man, and then, you know, Stafford hurts his hand. The x-rays come back negative, they say. But, you know, that's never good on your throwing hand.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, I don't know what to think about the Rams the last 4 weeks. I mean, obviously they're talented, but they have not looked the part. I mean, they're winning nitty-gritty games, but they're getting way too close. I don't know what your opinion is, but I just feel like this isn't the LA Rams that we watched at the beginning of the season.
Yeah. I mean, you know, maybe wear and tear kind of caught up with them. Uh, they definitely have one of the most talented teams in the league. That's undeniable. But I think it's just a rough patch in the season and the worst time to have it. As long as they hang on and win these games and fight that adversity, um, whether it be internal or external, I think they're still on track to do damage. I think playing against the Bears is a good opponent for them. They don't play Seattle yet.
I would
Um,
have loved to have played him this week too, with how Matthew Stafford banged up his hand, and you never want to win that way. But I mean, I will say that I think the Niners is the easier matchup of the two. They lost Kittle, Fred Warner's still not back.
yeah,
Apparently, Trent Williams is pretty hurt still, even though he played, and he played every snap, which is good. But yeah, the Rams. It's always going to be a tough matchup whenever we play the Rams, right? But you kind of want to take advantages where you can. We'll talk about the Rams Chicago game, which I think actually is going to be a really good game a little bit later. But yeah, I was kind of hoping the Panthers won just because I felt like it would have been funny for them to beat the Rams and then knock them out in the first round of the playoffs. Like,
yeah.
that would have been funny.
And kudos to the Panthers, especially on offense, for just being gritty, finding
Shout
a
out
way
to
to win.
Coker, bro. Jalen
Yeah,
Coker looks like a certified stud. He had that one really bad drop, but man, he was making some plays out there.
yeah. They have a pretty good receiver room.
Yeah,
And with Bryce Young there, that's only going to help him with those weapons.
and he looked serviceable. Like
He
he
did.
made his mistakes, but he looked crunch time when he needed to. Um,
Yeah, you could do a lot worse than Bryce Young.
Yeah, I mean, he had this. His only turnover was the interception in the first quarter, and then other than that, the problem is they had a lot of drives that just ended on downs, and it gave the
Yeah,
Rams good field position. Um, so that was quite interesting, but you know, I don't know. Colby Parkinson saved their season. I mean, that catch was awesome. I
yeah,
saw the catch and I was like, damn.
yeah.
That was a sweet catch. And, guess where he's from? Guess who drafted him?
With Seattle.
Of course. We let him go a couple years ago. I mean, we have like 99 tight ends. But, yeah, man. What a catch by him. And that was just a great game. Any thoughts on it?
Yeah, I mean, despite the Rams not looking their best, I think they showed their character and their mettle to persevere through that game anyway, because they could have gotten upset. The Panthers weren't an easy, opponent, at least not by. If you just looked at their records, you're like, that's probably not a close game, but they beat them the first game, and last week they gave him everything they had and almost came out on top. So if I'm Carolina, I'm looking at this season as a building block to take the next step next year in, a division that's up for grabs.
Yep.
But the Rams, to me, are still okay if they can remain healthy. But I think they came down a little bit.
And that's what it always comes down to in the playoffs, right? It's who's the healthiest.
Yeah.
I mean, that's really all it ever comes down to. Who can get lucky with the injuries and the lack thereof of injuries, So, yeah, shout out to the Rams. Shout out to the NFC West. 3 teams advancing to the second round and possibly 2 of our teams facing off in the championship.
Yeah.
Toughest division in football, I think, honestly. But
clearly, yeah.
That was crazy. I still can't believe it.
Yeah. And to your point, coming out of a division like that prepares you for these types of games.
Mm-hmm. Because you're playing elite teams. It's not like you're playing elite teams 4 games out of the year at least, because if you're playing teams that are making the playoffs, they're above average. So that was cool. But let's hop over to the game of the week. In my opinion, this Packers-Chicago game.
Yeah, real interesting.
What are your initial thoughts on this one? Holy smokes.
I mean, I didn't expect the Packers to jump out to the lead that they had and control the game, really. I was like, whoa, are the Bears really going to fold like a cheap beach chair? And I'm like, this this is crazy if this happens. After all the times we spoke about, are the Bears for real? You know, can we get behind them and really like consider them a real contender? And then for the first like 3 quarters, just like not really show up or not really get their sea legs. But I think Caleb Williams again does what he does.
He's clutch. I'll say it. He's
He has the
clutch.
clutch gene.
He does. I mean, their first 7 drives, field goal, they're driving down, get a field goal, interception, downs, field goal, interception in the red zone.
Oof.
You know, you don't win football games like that, and they went out there and they won a game that they had no business winning. I would say a 5% chance at that. And this reminded me of that Rams Seattle game a few weeks back. Not as high scoring, obviously by a couple scores. But I mean, what a disappointment for the Packers if you're the Packers, as a Packers fan, as a Packers player. That game should have been won, no questions asked. And honestly, I will say they got lucky with that touchdown was it the fourth or was it the third? No, it was the second quarter. It was the second quarter. Sorry, with the Watson front flip.
Oh,
and then he fumbled the ball.
Yeah,
but because he fumbled and they recovered it, it goes to the 1 yard line.
Yeah,
And no one from the Bears jumped on it. Dobbs had the awareness to be there and jump on it. That could have been a touchback, and that could have swung the game. There's many. I mean, obviously the Bears still won, but it's just little things like that where I feel like they just started playing a little reckless and like got away from the game plan that got them the lead.
Yep.
And what a throw by Caleb on that 4th and 9, going to the left, throwing across his body, and he throws an absolute dart. I mean, did you see the video of Christian Watson with that?
Yeah.
He was like, wow, what a throw or something. I'm like, dude, and that's what Caleb does, though, it feels like, is he makes those big-time throws in those big-time plays in the moments he has to.
Yeah. And I'm looking at it here. It's saying the Bears scored 25 points in the fourth quarter,
Yep. Just like the Broncos did against the Giants. Or was it the Giants? I mean, we've had multiple games this year where these teams are putting up substantial points. And it's, kind of you go like, why the hell couldn't we do that, earlier in the game?
Yeah.
But the problem is, you can't keep getting away with it like that. I don't know. Again, we'll get into this Rams-Chicago game a little bit later, but that's going to be a real interesting game because there's a lot of different ways it can go, and we'll discuss that. But, this Packers game, I mean, I'd watch the whole thing because I'm just like, this is playoff football, but I kind of was like, damn, the Bears are going to lose. But you know what I said in my head, too? I'm like, maybe I should just take Bears money line. It was like plus 2,000 or something at the time. I'm like, it's the Bears, bro, and it's the Packers. Both of these teams, we've had questions all year.
Yeah.
And, the Bears do it at home. That's a big win, and they get home field advantage again. So that's going to be huge for them.
Yeah, it could come into play. I know I don't have any questions about Matthew Stafford in cold weather. He's definitely played out there before, but
I do with the hand injury though.
Yes.
That's what I was saying. We'll talk about stuff later. To me, if the Panthers put up, what was it, 20 or 31 on you, I'll tell you what, Chicago can certainly put up 31 on you. They got the tools all over the field. So it's going to be really a matter of how healthy is Stafford.
Yeah.
Because it's not a dome game. That's a cold weather game.
Oh yeah,
Um,
windy at the very least, windy.
yeah. So that's going to be really interesting how that develops throughout the week. And they had a couple. They lost a couple players too in the Rams in the Carolina game. So yeah, but
Yeah.
good for Chicago. I mean, Chicago fans got to be thrilled. We have a group chat for our fantasy league, and we got a couple Chicago fans there, and they were elated. I mean, they were so happy that they finally got a win. It's a big year for Chicago. You go from being down in the dumps to bring Ben Johnson on, and he turns his team around, and he hates the Packers, man. That's
Oh,
one thing about him. He hates the fucking
did
Packers,
you
bro.
did you see that
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah,
post game in the locker room?
yeah, big time.
I mean, but that's what you want, right? As a fan,
Mm-hmm.
like, yeah, like this is how you're supposed to treat your rivals, like,
Yeah,
and it is in a professional way. It's not like you're demeaning anybody. It's just like, look, we're us, they're them. We have this history of being rivals, and this is just another chapter in that story of Bears Packers, the oldest rivalry in the sport. And kudos to the Bears for stepping up. And I'll take it a step further. Caleb Williams grating the cheese in the press conference.
yeah,
Well, at
yeah.
the interviews after the game, that was kind of
It,
funny. But
it feels like he's getting some moxie to him.
yeah,
Because I don't think anyone questioned his talent. I think everyone just questioned, could he be a leader, a real
yeah,
leader of men, and I think he definitely is, and he's finally getting that moxie. Now, what I don't want to see is them get overconfident
oh yeah,
because they aren't the most talented team in the NFL. They just have a lot of good pieces. Um, I could very easily see them going out there and getting ass blasted by the Rams, but I could also see them winning that game.
yeah,
So they just need to take it day by day and realize, hey, do keep doing what you did to get here, because I think what they're going to have to do, and not to dive too deep in it, to beat the Rams is run the ball a lot and not rely
yes,
on Caleb
yep,
as much. Rely on him to make the big plays, which, the big throws that he makes. That there was that boneheaded interception where, you can blame Luther Burden for running the wrong route, but that ball was released nowhere near Luther Burden. That ball was thrown right to the Rams defender.
yeah.
So we can blame whoever we want on the busted route or whatever, but that was an insane interception. I watched it happen. I'm like, who the fuck was he throwing that ball to? And he got all pissed off, and I'm like, I felt like Luther Burden was open going to the back of the end zone there.
He
I don't
was.
know if that was just me, but yeah.
And I mean, just to put a bow on what the Bears done, right? Like their defense isn't the greatest, but they do have the ability to force turnovers at the very least. So that might bode well for them in that upcoming game, and that's where maybe this home field advantage could benefit them. So a good win to build off of. Just don't get too high off of beating a Packers team that you know wasn't that great and they're dealing with injuries. So
They lost
they're
their best
definitely going to
player.
be,
They
yeah,
lost their best player.
yeah. I mean, what are you going to do, right? And who knows if I don't know if LaFleur's staying, but
They said they're trying to work out a deal. That was like a giant article that came out yesterday, I think it was, that they were trying to work out a deal to keep him. Because I had heard like rumblings of him possibly going, but there's just so much. Where else is he going to go that's
yeah,
better than that situation? You got a young quarterback, you got young wide receivers. Michael will be back next year. He's not going to be out the whole year.
hmm
Um, I just don't see that team not in like cap hell or anything like that. I don't know.
yeah, and it's an historic franchise too. It's got all the makings of why it's a good spot to be in as a coach.
Yeah.
But going from that game to Bills Jaguars,
Also an awesome game.
very good game. You know, that was the one pick that I got wrong because I still assert that the Jaguars had the better team,
I
but
think I was the only one to pick the Bills, actually, wasn't I?
maybe
Yeah, I can
I
think
don't
Abby. I
remember.
think Abby picked Jacksonville too. Um, and I just I just feel like Josh Allen's undeniable, man. There's no one in his way this year. You know,
Yeah.
it's his to lose.
I,
That's how I felt about this game, watching the game. You know.
and it's crazy because he had to be damn near perfect to win,
Mm-hmm.
and they just barely won. You
Yeah,
know,
I mean, to be fair, that Jacksonville team might be the second best team in the AFC behind
I
Houston.
I
I
think
just think
so.
Josh Allen is him, like
Yes.
really him. And I mean, this game was slow to start. You know, the whole first quarter, you had the punt, the first Jaguars drive was short. Then that Buffalo drive went like 5 or 6 minutes, and then um, Lawrence comes around and throws a pick, and then Buffalo can't do fuck all off of that, and they get a field goal, which was ridiculous.
Yeah.
And then obviously Jacksonville comes out and scores, and then um, Ray Davis has muffs the kick,
Yep.
and they get the ball back, and then you're like, oh, this could be bad, and then Jacksonville goes for it on fourth down and turns the ball over on downs, and I think that right there changed the whole game. Yep.
By that
And
much.
because his shin, and because that linebacker made a high level awareness play just to get his hands on him.
Yep.
And luckily for them, Trevor Lawrence's shin went down. And then Josh Allen marches him down the field for like a 10-play, 92-yard drive to score. And, from there, they also kind of got bailed out, I will say, because Cam Little, who never misses, hits the upright on that field goal right before half.
Yeah.
Blown away about that. I was like, wow, because he's almost automatic from 50 plus. You feel?
Yeah, and he has the record, right? Like
Yeah.
what, 67?
He has the two longest kicks in NFL history. He has 68. He kicked to 68 this year.
Oh yes, that's right.
And then, good.
No, and to your point, just the psychological momentum that going into the half with that, like he's automatic for kicker standards, and it's like, oh man, we're leaving points on the board.
Yeah, because it would be 10-10, and Buffalo gets ball after half, so
yes.
You're going in tie game instead of down 3, and Buffalo gets the ball, and you're kind of, they traded field goals to come out, but and then it gets scary because Trevor Lawrence obviously throws that pick, that the great play by the defender, and it was crazy if you watched the game, because they get the ball at the 30. I think it was the 23, because I think the special teams made a great play on Tootin. So I think it was like the 23 or the 25. But then it's like they only needed 25 yards to get into field goal range for Little. Like, yes. Literally the field goal mark was on the 50-yard line. That's crazy. You're like, we just got to get to the 50 to give our kicker a chance. That's nuts.
Yeah.
But yeah, Josh Allen has that money drive to end the game. The fucking quarterback sneak, he goes 10 yards. His lineman's picking him up and carrying him. We thought he scored initially, then he didn't score, and then, he takes it in himself anyways. But that was crazy. When I watched it, I was like, holy cow, they literally just picked him up and carried him all the way down.
Yeah.
And that was almost worst case scenario in a sense, because you kind of would have been okay with him only getting a couple yards and running the clock more, Luckily, they get the pick on the next drive, but you never want to give the ball back with a minute left in the game.
No.
Because they kind of cleared out and let him score. They were like, he's going to score anyway. It's Josh Allen. He's going to get 3-4 tries. He's going to get the ball in the end zone. Let's all, be realistic here. But, man, this game was awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome game.
It definitely delivered. And like I said, kudos to Jacksonville. Like they played their hearts out, even though, the margins were that close. The biggest difference in the game really was the quarterback. Mm-hmm. And it showed through. The Bills had the better quarterback, and Allen didn't make any mistakes, and Lawrence made a few of them.
He threw 2 picks,
yeah.
Then the game, he threw 1. He threw 2. Actually, no, he threw 2. Let's just say it as it is.
Yeah.
But Parker Washington, let's talk about him for a second. Stud. Yeah. Oh, certified. Yeah. I think I know everyone talks about Jacoby Myers. Jacoby Myers had 1 reception on 4 targets. Parker Washington had 12 targets this game, bro.
Yeah.
That big touchdown, 7 receptions, 107 yards. there was talks today about, Liam Combs said, well, Travis Hunter's going to play both ways next year still. Brian Thomas has that touchdown catch, but non-existent. I mean,
Yeah.
really feel like Parker Washington is the true alpha wide receiver on this team.
Yeah.
And not only on this, as far as that goes, he's their kick returner too. He's explosive. He's just a playmaker. In that Jacksonville team, it's a tough loss, but they got a lot to be happy about, man, because they're not gonna go anywhere for the next few years.
Yeah, that team, and I like Cohen as their coach. He's definitely a coach of the year candidate. With the culture that he instilled there, they play winning football. They kind of found their identity mid-year, and they rattled off that nice win streak. They just ran into a buzzsaw. Josh Allen's going to be tough to beat this year in the playoffs, and that, like I said, Jacksonville gave it their best shot. I thought they could have tried to control the time of possession a little more and control the ground game and kind of keep Allen off the field. That's going to be the recipe for whoever beats the Bills. Is you want to control the clock. And hey, Johnny boy, what's up, bro?
Johnny boy, what's up, man?
And yeah, but I got to give credit to the Bills, even though I hate saying it. They persevered. They haven't been the greatest of teams either this year, right? Like
they lost Gabe Davis, tore his ACL this game too.
Yeah, that's a tough loss.
But Braden Cooks makes that monster catch. He has that bomb.
Oh,
the great signing,
that turned the game too. Where they left him wide open. I'm like, what?
And I'm going to be honest. I think Josh Allen underthrew him a bit. Like if he hit him in stride, he would have took it to the house. I'm pretty sure. It's just weird because when you look at this Buffalo team as well, they aren't talented at all on paper outside of Josh Allen and 100%. Shakir. Keon Coleman's quite frankly a bust. Tyrell Shavers, he looked okay. Kid tears his ACL in the second quarter and plays the rest of the game.
That was pretty admirable.
Gabe Davis tears his ACL as well. Their receiving core, I mean, let's just put it this way. If you swap Buffalo and Jacksonville's receiving core, I think we'd call Buffalo the Super Bowl favorites, no questions asked.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So for what Josh Allen does with receivers is magical in and of itself, but he is a true one-man army.
Yeah.
He is the real deal. He makes bonehead mistakes, don't get me wrong, but he is magical. And I just feel like I got Houston coming out of here, but man, after watching that game, it just feels like Allen's not going to be denied this year. I don't know why I got that feeling, but he just makes it happen. And again, this Jacksonville team wasn't a joke, man. They might have been the second best team in the AFC, the 100%. Second hottest team in the AFC.
Yeah. And they were in a good spot. They had a home game in the playoffs.
Yeah. In Duval, great weather.
Yeah.
Rams game is going to be tough. Like for the Rams, yeah, we're going to talk about that a little, but we were touching on that before, especially with Matthew Stafford's finger. And we're going to get to Houston here in a little bit. But absolutely. I mean, I've been saying this for many, many weeks. Houston's defense is insane. And I think it's a
Super Bowl defense.
That offense is not Super Bowl caliber. And they might have lost Nico Collins. We'll get to that a little bit later. But, yeah, man. Shout out to Jaguars, though. I live in Florida, so, I kind of want to see all the Florida teams do well.
Yeah.
But, it's nice to see them building something, and they're going to be good for years, in my opinion. I don't know how you feel about it, but I think they're going to be good for years.
Oh, yeah, yeah. They're for real, and especially in the AFC where it kind of looks like it's kind of in flux where new teams are emerging and some of them are kind of dropping off.
The best teams might be in that same division too.
Yeah, who would have thought that, right? They're always been a cupcake division historically, but the narrative is changing.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So I'm excited for them, but shout out to Josh Allen as
Yeah,
well. I mean,
he played
that
his
guy
ass off.
is a game wrecker. He is not a game manager. He is a game wrecker.
Yeah, he goes and gets it. Where there's
100%.
guys that play it safe. He he tries to take the game,
Yeah.
and we appreciate that as purists.
Yeah. Oh
Um,
yeah. 100%.
when a transition to the other really cool game on that Sunday was the 49ers beating the Eagles, going all cross country
And I
and
said it
just
in the group chat right before the game started too.
uh-huh.
I said I got a feeling the Niners are gonna beat the Eagles.
Yeah, the frauds came to the
Yeah.
top, right?
Yeah, we both have been calling them frauds for how many weeks now. This game was freaking cool though, man. This
Yeah.
was a good game. I'll let you get started. Let me hear your thoughts on this.
Yeah, I mean, all year I thought the Eagles weren't anything. I mean, defensively they're pretty good, right? But offensively, their identity, their their passing attack, if you want to call it that,
They don't have
was
a passing attack.
always out of sorts, right?
AJ Brown dropping passes left and right.
Oh
Jalen
my
Hurts
god.
threw for 168 in a must-win game. Um,
And then the offensive coordinator gets fired.
which he needed to be fired. I think that
Yeah.
offense, they need a revamp. I mean,
Yeah.
Saquon has 26 carries for 106. He has that 29-yard run in the first quarter that kind of inflates those stats a bit.
Yeah.
Um,
But he hasn't been as effective as he was last season. That
now,
they definitely rolled that his hot play last season. This season, not so much. Um,
and I'll
Eagles
tell you what,
come
though,
out as
too. What's your
soft.
thought? You think Devontae Smith's number one receiver in this offense?
I mean, I think now he is because I think they're going to move on from AJ Brown.
Oh, he's got a big contract, so they can't just simply move on from him as the issue.
Yeah, I mean, something has to give there because I don't know if AJ Brown is the problem, but I know that Philly's turning on him, and
Yeah, he
it's
doesn't. He's not loved the way he was. That's what I was getting out of it.
yes, and they actually come out of this whole game as to me soft.
Oh
They
yeah.
they
Oh yeah.
because all their identity is like this tough team that we're gonna win the trenches battle, we're gonna punch you in the mouth, and
They ran the ball 36 times as well. Like
yeah,
they literally were trying their hardest to control the clock this game. And I just don't get their offensive identity. Like I get, like you said, they want to hit the trenches, but every time I watch them do it, they're not running the play action. Like Jalen Hurts is not a winner to me. Like, I guess he won the Super Bowl last year. I'll say that, but like
yes,
he doesn't have that kill strike mentality to me.
yeah,
I don't know what it is. Again, this is one of those things where if you put Josh Allen on this Philadelphia Eagles team, they're Super Bowl favorites by a mile, right? Like
oh yeah. Nobody's touching him.
he's not a Josh Allen. If you put Lamar on this team, they're a championship team. If you put Joe Burrow on this team, there's a lot. Give Joe Burrow this defense with his offense he has over there. They're Super Bowl favorites. I just feel like he's not. He's a good quarterback, but he's not an elite upper echelon quarterback.
Yeah, no, I agree, and you have to have a great roster around him, which they did last season.
Yeah, that defense was elite. And the thing is, the other thing about that Eagles defense is a lot of their players on rookie, they are going to be in cap hell soon. They're not going to be able to reach. They're going to have to choose between Cooper DeJean and why am I brain farting on his name? Quinyon Mitchell.
yes,
They're going to have to choose between one of them. They're not going to be able to re-sign both of them.
no,
Jalen Carter. There's a lot of players they're going to have to worry about re-signing. And don't get me wrong, the Eagles front office does a phenomenal job at managing cap, but
yeah,
I don't want to be in their
magicians with that.
position.
No, and to your point, they had a window which they did capitalize and got one ring, right? So maybe they do somewhat mild reset, not a total revamp, but like, kind of move the pieces on the board a little bit,
Yeah.
and because they still have a pretty good team, not
Yeah,
like a
yeah. The
contender.
problem is I think that division next year is going to be really good because
Yep,
I've heard the Harbaugh deal is all but done for the Giants.
yep, the Giants are
So
coming.
the Giants are, a healthy Giants team is going to be relatively good in my opinion. Um, if the Dallas Cowboys get a competent defensive coordinator, they'll be good. They have the weapons and the tools, in my opinion. You're not really. I mean, even Washington, honestly, I'm not even gonna say you can't be worried about them because if they come back healthy next year, if they get a running back, they're a good team.
Yeah, they're not far removed from being the surprise team of the NFL,
No.
going to the NFC Championship game.
Yeah.
You know, but
But then
yeah,
on the flip side, let's talk about this Niners team.
yeah, that I love their grit, their heart. I mean, this team for years has been riddled with injuries and still competes at a championship level. Like they might not win the championship, but they have the champion's heart. Um, Shanahan is one of the best coaches in the game.
Top five easily, probably top three even.
Yeah, his teams are always prepared. I love how Purdy has developed, and he's a franchise quarterback now. He can throw an early interception and shake it off and come back and not be afraid to throw the deep ball again. Like he takes chances, and with Kittle being hurt, I hope he gets back soon.
It's Achilles. Luckily, Achilles is a lot less recovery time. And quite frankly, Tongs is a phenomenal backup. The only thing is that Kittle is a massive part of their blocking game.
Yes.
Tongs is not. And that's what really kills them when they don't have Kittle. Is not only is he a talented tight end, he's top 2 in the league when he's healthy, right? He opens up gaps and holes, and he is a literal beast in the pass blocking game as well.
Yeah. And that's why he's always argued that he was the best tight end in the league. When him and Kelsey were vying for that number 1 spot, Kittle was the all-around tight end that did the blocking and the receiving. And
absolutely.
And he's one of the leaders of that team. So, to go up against a Seattle team, you're going to need all your bullets in the gun, so to speak. It's going to be very hard for them to. I'm not saying it's impossible, but
it's impossible.
Yeah,
look, I'm a Seahawks fan. I'm a stan. Look what we just did to them. And we left points on the board, and they were healthier than they were this week.
And you did it in Santa Clara,
right? Yeah. Thank Abby's here. Thank God I had to miss tonight because why is this guy wearing a Lakers jersey? Oh boy,
this is a Will Chamberlain jersey. I got to represent one of the GOATs.
You know a fun fact, by the way. You know that Juwan Jennings was a 4-star recruit ranked above Lamar and Burrow coming out of high school.
Crazy, right?
It's nuts.
And
TJ sent me that the other day. I couldn't believe it. I was like, that is such a funny, crazy stat,
You know what else is a crazy stat?
Ball. What? Let me hear it.
Juwan Jennings has as many playoff touchdowns as Justin Herbert.
Oh, he has one more than Sam Darnold. Fun fact. Yeah, fun fact. He has one more than Sam Darnold does. He has 2 and Sam Darnold's 1. But let's hop off topic. Let's answer Johnny Boy's question here.
Yeah.
With Moore going back to school, is it crazy that he'd rather compete for his starting job than make $55 million? So here's the thing. I can kind of jump off on this. Dylan Raiola is going to be sitting this year. That's already confirmed. He has a fibula injury. He started as a true freshman at Nebraska and played 2 years. To me, Dylan Raiola is a 5-star recruit, a fantastic prospect. He's not going to play this year. He's going to redshirt. He's going to sit on the bench. Moore needs another year in college. Moore's a top 2 pick. and he needs another year in college. I think if he went to the Jets, he's not putting himself in a good position to be successful long term, and he would be out of the league in a couple years. He's just not ready. He's simply not ready. You can see what happened in the Indiana game. He throws a pick six to start the game, fumbles the ball two or three times. I mean, the game was over in the second quarter. We came down. He had that massive drive, so you saw the poise that he has, but he just doesn't have it yet, and he needs to go back for another year and develop. And that's just the honest truth. He's a talented kid, and he would have went 2 overall, but he needs to go. I wouldn't say biggest blessing. He's not going to be a bust. He's talented.
No.
He's uber talented. He's got the moxie. He can make the throws. No, it's not the Jets hate. It's just he's not ready, and he's going to be thrown into a starting position. Your guys' offensive line is fine. Your guys' receivers are fine, but that front office and that management is going to ruin him when he shouldn't even be starting. He should be getting drafted and sitting on the bench for a year. That's just my honest opinion. And you know what? It is what it is. Next year's draft class is even more talented. But you know what? It's the same thing. You know, when we said Quinn Ewers shouldn't come out because you got Nussmeier and all these other guys, these other quarterbacks, and all of them have been busts. So, you know, we think next year's draft class is going to be uber talented, but you never know. And I think he'll be okay. Even if he gets picked like 6 instead of 2, he'll still be fine. He'll have another year under his belt. And that Oregon team is elite, and they're going to be good next year as well. So it is what it is.
Yeah, I when I texted Abby earlier or DM'd her about the news, I said, this is the Jets effect. You know, do I go back to college or do I go into quarterback abyss? And lo and behold, history is the real winner here. And I think the blessing in disguise is more avoiding that, you know, black hole straight up. And whoever advised him, smart.
Yeah, and I think he got advised to go back because he needs another year. And, you know, to Shaq's point, yes, they shouldn't even be drafting. To me, don't waste your number 2 overall pick on another quarterback when next year is going to be talented as well. Focus on the defense. Focus on the problems that you have. They have, what, 2 first-round picks this year and 3 next year or something like that? Just build your team up. Worry about building the basis and then get your franchise quarterback and then worry about competing. You're still at minimum 3 years out, in my opinion, 2 to 3 years out. So build your team, build a good basis. That way you're not throwing some kid in there at 20. And here's the thing. This is something people don't realize. Dylan Moore is 20 years old.
Yeah, he's still young.
He is 20 years old. He doesn't turn 21 until May. He'll be 22 going into the NFL next year. Like, he's young. Mendoza's 23, you know? And here's the thing. To me, if I'm the Jets, if Trinidad's forced to come out this year and go to the draft, take him in like the 5th round and try him out.
Flyer.
He's not going to be like an NFL all pro, but he's got the tools. He's just older, you know, but he's got the tools to definitely do it. And there's some talent. I mean, no one's really talking about him because he had a really bad year this year. But Lenora Sellers, to me, is one of the most talented quarterbacks in college. And you put him in the right situation, and he's going to be a monster.
100%.
But, yeah, I don't want to get too off track. I just kind of didn't want to dive into that because I'm a big Oregon fan. I watch every single game, you know. And he did the right thing, in my opinion. Like, it didn't matter if the Jets had the picks, if he was going to go to the Raiders, if he was going to go to the Chiefs. Go develop yourself because you need to put yourself in the best position. 3 first-round picks next year in hopes that either the Colts or Cowboys bottom out enough to get you the number 1 pick. No. Cowboys aren't going to be bad. We were just talking about that right before. You know, the Cowboys have a chance next year.
Yep.
The Colts will be interesting because they're not going to have unless they sign a quarterback, obviously in free agency. And they're going to have to make some decisions at wide receiver because Alec Pierce might not be back.
Yeah.
You still have Jonathan Taylor. But if the end of this year was any indication, because they had the cupcake schedule in the first half. You remember we talked about that? And then we talked about how once it's starting in divisional play, they had a really hard schedule and they lost every single game. And if that's any indication of what it's going to be next year, the Jets are set up to have a top 10 pick from them as well.
Yeah. 100%. But, if they, get impatient, because that could happen too. You still have that draft capital to trade for a quarterback if need be, which should be on the table if you're the Jets. Because I don't think they're good at, and history showed, developing quarterbacks. You need a proven commodity. And, when
they
they
had
did
Sam
have
Darnold,
that,
right? Look at him
yeah,
now.
yeah.
It's just he has the talent. He just wasn't given the assets, That's the problem.
Yeah, no, you're right. But just because you have the picks doesn't mean you hit on them. But this is where you could build your team, right? Like, because everybody wants to draft a quarterback, right, as a quick fix. But sometimes
that's the problem.
Yes,
that's been the problem lately. Everyone thinks it's a quick fix, and these kids are thrown into the fire, and then they just get shit on by fan bases. Oh, he's horrible, and it's like, no. And that's again why I'm glad Dylan Moore back, because he would have gotten shit on, and he needed another year. A lot of
the New York media.
Yeah, they need another year, man. And next year's the Arch Manning sweepstakes, and quite frankly, Arch Manning looked rough his first game of the season. He looked like all the part. He can be an elite NFL quarterback. He's got the tools to run the ball. I mean, Jesus, he's got wheels on him like no tomorrow, and he's got a great arm.
Yeah, and he has the pedigree.
Yeah, he's got the pedigree. I mean, he's got the Manning name. He's got the Manning brothers behind him. I'm sure,
he can pick and choose where he wants to go.
He'll be, and if the Jets can get him, if they can, seriously, I will say this: if the Jets can build their team in the draft this year, and then utilize their picks next year, and let's just say they get the number 1 overall pick next year, and they can get Arch Manning, Jets can go from a pretender to a contender real quick. And that's dependent on a ton of factors. But both of their young guards or tackles, whatever they are, I always get Membu in them. I think they're tackles actually, but they're good. Their O-line isn't horrible. If you can re-sign Breece Hall, you got Garrett Wilson. Honestly, I think that they can actually probably trade down even their pick, and maybe take like a Jordan Tyson or a Carnell Tate, or maybe just take Jordan Tyson or Carnell Tate at 2, get another monster receiver. And then let's just say in theory they get the 1 pick, and then like maybe like the 5 pick or 6 pick if the Colts are horrible. They could package that up and trade up to like 2 and then take, like, remember how the Texans did it a couple years ago when they got Stroud and Will Anderson?
Yep.
They could get like a Arch Manning and a Jeremiah Smith.
Yeah.
I mean, there are so many avenues and so many possibilities. And obviously, we never know what's going to happen in the college season next year, but there's a lot of outs for them.
Yeah. But, still a lot to be seen with how that develops.
Yeah. That's a lot of ifs, ands, and buts, right? Like,
yeah. But, we'll see how that plays out, how the draft plays out and free agency plays out. And, they're like how this year was so crazy, right? Mm-hmm. A lot of twists and turns, some things we didn't expect. Every NFL season has, I guess these surprises now, so at least you have hope if you are a fan that's in the lottery, let's say, right? The first 5 picks.
100%.
I want to switch gears to the Patriots-Chargers game, which may have been the most boring game.
The biggest news fest. The Patriots looked like shit. The Chargers looked even worse. I mean, Christ. Justin Herbert he looks worse than Sam Darnold in crunch time in the playoffs. Yes. Bro. And I love Justin Herbert, bro. But good Lord. I mean, they have no running game. Marion Hampton gets hurt after like the first drive. Kamani Vidal does nothing. Herbert's their leading rusher. He's getting slammed in the backfield. And they come out and they're like, we don't even know what coverage they were in 80% of the game. It's like, bro, what in the fuck is going on?
To me, it's an embarrassment. I thought the Chargers were not even competitive,
No.
and they didn't show up. And I mean, granted, the Patriots probably had the better team anyway, but three measly points with a good quarterback, and this isn't the first time that the Chargers have had these demons in the playoffs. You
Now
know,
I will just pause and say they have been ravaged by injuries. Their entire O line is injured, right? Like they have two All Pros on their All line that are out between Joe Alt and Slater. Um, and their defense was fine. Their offense shit the bed.
yeah,
Um, I mean, Joe, and what's crazy is I saw a stat. This was Justin Herbert's. He had the most time in the pocket out of any game this year in this game, which is crazy to think about. But I mean, if they had just put up 2 touchdowns, they would have won this game. If they could have scored twice. As Shaq said, most predictable wild card game happened in Foxborough. Chargers defense wasn't too bad, 2 takeaways, and offense scored 3 points. Exactly. And I think we both thought the Chargers could win this game.
yep,
Because we didn't trust the Patriots with that schedule. And honestly, sure, Drake may throw for 268, but he didn't wow anybody either. He made his fair share of mistakes as well.
yeah. I mean, and that's the thing too, is that there's going to come a time where they're going to be tested, and I think it's
This
going to be
week,
the next
they
game.
play
Yeah,
the Texans defense. They're going to get – if the Chargers defense did this to them, imagine what the Texans defense is going to look like. And this is going to be the same thing. Can the Texans put up points? Because that offense is on fraud watch too. But that defense is not. That defense is top 2 in the NFL, and they're number 2 because we're not 2, baby.
Man,
it is.
I mean, that's the thing, right? Drake May has had a great season, but
by all means, 10 steps forward.
This is the game where if you're for real and you are really an MVP and not a paper MVP, go out there and prove it against that defense. Find a way to win.
That's big time. And they're on – the Houston team is on a 10-game win streak, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, CJ Stroud. Yeah, I mean, CJ Stroud what 4 fumbles as well. I mean,
5.
He's never really had 5. Yeah, he's never had a game like that either. Like he isn't prone to making. To me, CJ Stroud is a lot like Jalen Hurts and Caleb Williams in a way where he doesn't throw like a lot of. I could be totally. Just from what I noticed, he doesn't throw a lot of picks. He doesn't make a lot of like bonehead plays. He just doesn't like utilize it. Like they have probably one of the most talented young receiver rooms in the league.
Yeah.
And he just doesn't, that offense doesn't do anything. To be fair, their running backs are pretty dog shit. I mean, you got Nick Chubb and Woody Marks. You had Joe Mixon last year, who was a top 5 running back in the league for a lot of the year, right? But I don't know. Not to hop into the New England-Houston game, but I just think that's one of those games where Houston just beats the shit out of them.
They should.
I mean, we can. I guess we don't really need to talk about this Chargers Patriots game, or we can just transition to that Steelers game and talk about that and talk about that Houston team because that's something positive to talk about because these 2 teams fucking blow right here. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and another team that blows, Pittsburgh Steelers.
100%.
No business being in the playoffs. I'll just say that. That team.
But to be fair, if this was the Ravens, in my opinion, this was the same kind of game.
Oh, same thing.
Yeah.
The Texans were always going to be a tough team to play against, and that's why I was saying like sometimes like the 5 seed is not a bad spot to be in because you catch a team like the Steelers, and you have a 10
you're playing that team that you're typically playing that team that. I mean, wait, Buffalo's the 5 seed too, right?
Oh yeah.
So you're not
they're the 6.
Or I mean the 6 seed. So they're playing the. Is this a 4 versus 5 seed? Why am I brain farting right now?
Yeah,
was Pittsburgh a 4 seed?
Yeah, they were. Yep.
Okay, yeah. So typically that 4 seed is usually like a team that waddled in as well.
Yeah.
So like you're playing the worst of the top 4 teams essentially.
Yeah. To be fair, like Aaron Rodgers didn't do anything. This is a wake up call to hang him up. or at least the Steelers
Well,
need to
they
go in
said
a different direction.
with the Tomlin stepping down that Rodgers probably retires. That was the whole thing, and we'll talk
Ah,
about that as Tomlin steps away from football. 19 years,
yeah.
never missed the playoffs or never had a
No.
losing record. Sorry, he's missed
Yeah.
the playoffs, right?
Yeah.
Um, and he says I'm done. He's still under contract, but he says he wants to coach somewhere warm in the South, insinuating maybe in 2027 the Bucks fire Bowles and they hire Tomlin.
Yeah. Could be.
Because he's only 54 or something like that. He's still young,
Yeah, he's still
right?
young.
What does Shaq say? The AFC North was down terrible. Yeah, I mean, no. Joe Burrow, when he came back, he was the best quarterback in my opinion. Joe Burrow really kind of lit it up at the end of the year. Deshaun
Yeah.
Watson was not. Deshaun Watson, Jesus, Shador Sanders. Sorry, I was thinking. I wanted to talk about the Browns actually because did you see the article about Deshaun Watson possibly starting for them next year?
Yeah.
That's crazy to me. Good
It-
Lord, let's not hop around too much because we'll do this all day.
Yeah, but to Shaq's point though, like that whole division should have been looking for new coaches, right? If
And all of them
Cincinnati,
are except the one team that really should.
yeah,
How did
yeah,
Taylor keep his job of everybody? He should have been the first one fired. Like what?
So
That is
yeah,
the craziest shit to me.
so Pittsburgh wins the gauntlet that is the AFC North, and then they
Holy
come into
shit.
this game against a buzzsaw, and you know the Houston Texans give me like 2000 Ravens vibes where they carry questionable quarterback play and that defense is just so legit that they win games by themselves.
Well, it's crazy because also this game I was watching. I was at like an event, but they had like the game on the TV. The
Uh-huh.
game was 7-6 in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
And then Houston goes down and has that monster drive. And then, it's the fumble for a touchdown. Sorry, it's the fumble for a touchdown. The Steelers punt. Then they have this monster drive. They went like 90 yards. And then it's a pick six right afterwards. They put up 23 points in, however many minutes it was. It was nuts. But that's what they can do. They're destructive on defense.
Yes. And the way that they fly to the ball,
And Will Anderson, I mean, Jesus, he might be one of the best defensive players. He might be the next Myles Garrett. Seriously, like that.
Yeah.
He's that dominant, man. When he's on the field, he is a game wrecker. He's in the backfield consistently disrupting, causing, insane plays. And then, I don't know if he caused the fumble, but it was the fumble, and then Rakin's fat boy picks it up. He just starts running. He's like, "Oh, that's my ball." Starts running, man. I was laughing so hard when I watched that play. But dude, this Houston team, I picked him the other day, last week to go to the Super Bowl. I'm having my second thoughts just because I really like Buffalo's chances, but they just look so damn good, bro. So damn good.
Yeah. No, I'm with you on that. Because I thought Houston was going to make the Super Bowl as well. I just thought that momentum and their defense is legit. And maybe with Allen playing a perfect game, might be able to beat them. But I don't see anybody in the AFC really challenging that defense.
No.
They're going to have to win ugly to beat them.
And we can, if you want to transition, I know we're going to be going backwards. We can transition this into the Houston-New England game. We can just talk about that.
Yeah, let's go.
Because
let's do it.
I don't think personally that New England is going to – I think New England's going to get dog walked in this game. And that might be like a super hot take. I wonder what the line is for this game. Let me see what the line is. And that's with them having no Nico. I still don't think it matters. They got it's basically 50-50. It's plus or minus 3.5 for New England to win this game. I don't see it. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, like in this game, I like the Houston Texans to just dominate, to assert their will. It's going to be a low-scoring game. That's who they are. That's their identity. Because the Patriots also have a good defense. So, with the
Yeah, but Christian
question,
Gonzalez concussion protocol.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
a big deal. That's a
that
really big deal.
that is. I do still think that their coach can scheme and kind of like smoke and mirrors it for a little
They
while.
blitz a lot too.
They
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 blitz
do.
a lot.
So Stroud's gonna have his challenges with the blitz, feeling that pressure all game long. So if he could take care of the ball, they're definitely going to win this game. I don't
Yeah.
think the score is going to be indicative of how much better the Texans are, in my opinion.
I think the Texans are going to win by 2 scores, bro. To me, it's just hard because, the Chargers made the New England offense look mediocre. And keep in mind, New England hasn't played anybody tough all year. We all know that, right?
Yeah.
The Chargers forced multiple turnovers. And if the argument is one about how unelite the Patriots receivers are, those DBs are going to feast on them if they're really that bad as everyone wants to claim, right? Because everyone wants to claim that Drake May's doing this with bad receivers, right? That's the whole narrative that everyone wants to push.
Yep.
So if that's the case, they have the two of the best DBs. They might have the best DB or top 2 DB tandem in the league. Their
Yeah.
secondary is elite. Their pass rush is going to get to town all day. And
Yeah.
Drake May did not look good under pressure
No.
this week. And honestly, I feel like that defense is going to get them at least a touchdown. At least they're good for a touchdown. I feel like, and if that's the case, that offense just needs to score twice, in my opinion,
And take care of the ball.
Yeah, I can easily see them stifling New England. I can see New England not putting up points this game.
Yeah.
That's how good that Texans defense is. And again, it might be like an over exaggeration, or like a hyper crazy take by me, but I just really think that Texans defense is that much better than this New England team who's had a cupcake schedule all year. And yes, you beat up Chargers. We all thought that Chargers had a chance because they're gritty, and honestly, they did have a chance in this game. They just couldn't score the ball on offense.
Yeah, miraculously they were still in the game, right?
Yeah, and this is a Houston team that again started the season 2-5, or 3-5 rather. They've won 9 in a row in the regular season plus this playoff game, and they look better and better and better every single week.
Yeah. That is, a team finding who they are, finding their identity, and knowing their strengths and weaknesses. And I'm telling you, you could argue there's not a better singular unit in the sport than that Houston defense when they're on all cylinders. Because
Seattle's right there with them. I will say
I'm saying
it's
that
close
because they made Josh Allen look like crap earlier in the year. They've done it to a lot of good quarterbacks, and that defense travels. And I'm not taking anything away from Seattle.
Yeah, you're right.
And I think Seattle has a better offense, than Houston in some regards. At least their running backs are a lot better.
No, we have the best receiver in the league as well. So there's
that too.
I mean, and keep in mind, we played Houston this year.
Yeah.
And we did beat them. It was like 30-19 or something like that, or 30-18. So we did beat them. And again, Houston wasn't hitting strides, but we still do have a win against them. Yeah, and like Shaq says, 4 pick sixes out of 7 total interceptions and 3 wild card games for that Texans defense. And you know what? You know what the crazy thing is since Stroud has been in the league, he's good for 1 playoff win no matter what.
Yeah.
So, he gets the job done. He still threw for 250, I think, against Pittsburgh. So he still threw the ball. But yeah, that Houston defense, like you said, they travel and they are good. And I think they are going to overwhelm this Patriots team. I don't give a shit if this game's in Foxborough, California, Texas. You can play it anywhere, and I think it's going to be I think the colder it is, the better it is for that Texans defense because they're going to be getting pressure. They're going to be getting to, and this Patriots team who loves to run the ball and who has 2 talented running backs is not going to be running the ball like they were against the Chargers. Tell you that
They're
right
going to
now.
be put in positions where they have to throw the football,
Yep.
and
And
that's what's scary
yeah.
from
And
a
that's what the
Patriots point of
Texans
view.
want. That's what the
Oh,
Texans want. They want you throwing the ball downfield. Drake May loves to throw the ball downfield. And guess what? Those DBs for the Texans love when the ball gets thrown down the
oh
field.
yeah, ball
So,
hawks.
yeah. So, who do you have in this game? I'm assuming you have the
Oh
Texans.
yeah, the
Yeah,
Texans
I have the Texans
outright.
too. I have them outright, and I think I have them by, I'd say 10 or more, honestly. I really do.
I could see that. I see it like maybe right at 10. I'd say like maybe like 20-10, a
Yeah.
thorough ass whooping.
Yeah. And again, I can see it being at least a 10-point game.
Yeah.
It's going to be, I think it's going to be an ass whooping. Again, that 10-point score is not going to be indicative of what this game actually looked like.
Yeah, it's going to be a physical like beatdown, like a
Yeah.
boxer that hits the body, right?
Yeah.
They might not, the opponent might not like look like they got punished, but at the end of the day, you're gonna be like, man, like they really took
Yeah.
it right there, man. Like, the body blows that defense is gonna give them, it's gonna be a lot to withstand. That the Patriots will be tested, and we're gonna
Oh,
see what
absolutely.
Drake May's made of.
Yep. Absolutely. I am on board with that, and I agree with that. So I was just reading that they're Al Shahir is hurt, or he's questionable. Nico Collins is
Ooh.
questionable too, which is kind of a big deal. But
Yeah.
yeah, he didn't practice Wednesday either, so it's kind of luckily for them. They're the Monday game, right?
No.
No, the Sunday night game though, at least. So,
They
no, Sunday 3 p.m. Sorry, Sunday 3
early
p.m. Yeah,
game Sunday. Yeah.
yeah. Let's hop to the early game on Saturday though.
Yeah.
Buffalo,
In the
Denver.
AFC. Yeah.
Buffalo, Denver.
This is a very interesting game. We have two, pretty good teams. I'm not going to say that they're elite, but, Denver being at home and Josh Allen, playing, some of the best football of his career.
Yeah.
Just because of the maturity that he's been showing. I think he grew a little this year.
Well, he got what, married or whatever it was.
Yeah, I think had a kid.
Had a kid. Everyone's like, oh, this is his year now, And everyone's like, what everyone's like is, oh, Josh Allen's gonna have a hard time playing in Denver. He played college in Wyoming. I don't know why
it's
people
right next
forget
door,
that.
pretty
Like
much.
he played college in Wyoming, and I don't think I've ever seen Josh Allen be affected by where he's playing at. Frankly, doesn't matter if he's playing in the snow, in the heat. He just always plays his game.
Yeah.
And this is a big game for Bo Nix too. What do you think? Because I don't feel like Bo Nix played bad last year in their playoff game.
No, he definitely didn't. He wasn't the reason why they didn't move on, but one thing I do like about Denver is that I think they have the decided coaching advantage in this game. Sean Payton is a winner, and he'll be prepared for this game. And I think that's where Denver could, take this game. It's going to be a close game. It might be a classic, honestly. I expect the best out of both teams, actually. I don't think this is going to be a stinker. I don't think they're going to lay an egg.
I think this is going to be the highest scoring game of the week.
Yeah, it could be.
I do. Because here's my thing. Denver's defense was great fantasy-wise this year, right? But, from a real-life football point of view, they didn't look the part,
No.
They weren't, elite. They were – statistically they were elite, right? But, they don't look elite. And I feel like Josh Allen is good at making teams like that look worse than they are.
Yeah.
And I think what it's going to come down to is who can – and – again, we're going to cost you. Well, remember what I said. It's going to be like that Miami Ole Miss game. Who can put up 31 points? That's who wins the game.
Yeah.
I think that's what this is going to turn into is who can put up 35 points. That it's going to be like a 35-31 kind of game,
Yeah.
I really feel that way because, Denver's defense and offense are serviceable. RJ Harvey, awesome.
Yeah.
They got great receivers. And then their defense, I think both these defenses are going to get dog walked all day, I feel like.
Yeah.
because I think the weather's actually supposed to be nice too that day. I think it's supposed to be like partly cloudy and stuff. So it's actually gonna be like a good game.
Yeah, all the makings of a shootout, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like this game is going to be a literal barn burner, and I'm pissed because I mean I'm grateful, right? But this weekend I'm really not going to be able to watch a lot of football because I'm going to be in Miami for the tailgating and all that.
Oh yes.
So I'm going to be at like a sponsored event while all these games are going on because the event starts at like 1:30.
They gonna
So
have any TVs on in there?
hopefully, I don't know how it's going to look and the setup, but yeah, we're going down on Friday and we don't come back till Tuesday. So
Sweet.
yeah, they got us not to glow, but they got us sweet tickets.
Huh, how sweet it is.
Yeah, I know. I was like, holy cow! Looked at the
That's
price, and
pretty
my
good,
jaw
man.
dropped, bro.
Yeah.
Fucking $40K, bro.
Woo.
Yeah, insane. We'll talk about college football a little bit after this, but yeah. So who do you have winning this game?
After mulling it over a few times, I actually am going with the Broncos in this game.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I mean, I'm not saying that Buffalo can't win this game. They definitely can. I just think that this is one of those games that plays into the Denver Broncos' strengths. It's going to be a close game, and they're good in close games. And I think they just find a way to win this game. Somebody's going to come up with a big play. Could be Cortland Sutton. Could be Benito on defense. Something's going to turn the tide. I think Denver's defense is better than Buffalo's and can cause a little bit more disruptions. But it's really Josh Allen versus the Denver Broncos.
Yeah.
And
but did you know that Buffalo had the number one pass defense in the league? I didn't know that stat until I watched the game.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm like that. It's hard for me.
Yeah, it's very interesting, right? Because we saw how good their pass defense was against Jacksonville, where Jacksonville couldn't just sling it all over the field.
No.
They caused some turnovers, and Bo Nix could throw an interception, right? It's not outside the realm of possibility.
Yeah.
But yeah, I have Denver winning by a field goal in this game.
Yeah, this is another one where I'm going to take Buffalo, same as last week, and it's simply to do with I just feel like Josh Allen can't be denied, and I feel like the fact that Buffalo's strength is their pass defense is what's going to win them this game. I feel like it's going to be a late game interception that changes the tide, just kind of like that, kind of how the Jacksonville game went for them. And I think, honestly, James Cook has a monster game here. I think it's going to be a James Cook 100-yard rushing, probably 70-yard receiving game, and he gets 3 touchdowns between the two, and he's the reason they win. But, yeah, I'm going to go Buffalo, and just hard to – I just feel like they can't be denied. That's the thing for me this year.
Yeah, I mean, I know – one thing, the NFL is loving it. They want their star quarterbacks in.
Oh yeah.
So
and it's also too, to your point, like I feel like Denver's had too many things go their way. This is going to be one of those games where, like we've talked about with the Chiefs and that effect of like how they're winning close games. It's going to be the same thing to me where like Denver can't win them all, man. They're 8-1 at home, and I guarantee their win margin is like 2 points.
Yeah.
So I think it's just one of those games that the gods are on Buffalo's side and Josh Allen's side this year, it feels like. So, yeah.
Could very well be that for sure. One thing I do know, we'll be watching and we'll be paying close attention to the developments of that game.
And then
do you want to save your game for last?
No, let's do it next.
Okay.
Let's get her in.
San Francisco heads out to Seattle to play the Seahawks. How do you see the game playing out, Mr. Seahawk?
I think it's going to be like 20-7 or 20-13 game, and I think it's going to feel like it should have been like 35-13, one of those games again, like same as our last game went. I just feel like us being on a week's rest, them coming off, they're going to be on a short week. They're going to be beat up, quite frankly. They lost Kittle. Fred Warner, they're talking about Fred Warner. Fred Warner might play. He's not playing. Fred Warner's not playing.
Yeah.
I just feel like this is Seattle's game to lose. This is Sam Darnold's game to lose, in my opinion. I feel like we are going to pound the rock just like we did last time we played them. That really worked against them, and I think it's going to work again. Charbonnet and Kenneth Walker are a fantastic 1-2 punch. I just don't. San Fran, the grittiest team in the NFL. They've been through so much, but I think we really saw the true difference between the two teams in Week 18. And again, that's with us leaving points on the board. We should have just ran the fucking ball on the 1 yard line. Fucking reminiscent of the Patriots Seahawks Super Bowl. Just run the ball. We got no need to take an 11-yard sack there, and Charbonnet's wide open. Throw the ball. But I feel like Darnold plays well. He's played well enough, and as long as he doesn't throw 4 picks, I don't see us losing this game by any stretch of the imagination. Not at Lumens, not after a bye week. It just not this well rested, I don't see it.
And with how familiar you are with the opponent too.
And our defense is so good, man. Eamon Warrior's fantastic.
Yeah.
Our D-line is getting to the quarterbacks. Woolen and Witherspoon, Woolen just graded as, I don't take PPF for anything, but he's the number 1 corner on PPF, So I just think that team is so talented. You have JSN, the running backs, Barner, Arroyo, Shaheed, and special teams. Our special teams has been phenomenal, It just seems like a perfect storm for us. And to play San Fran, frankly, is a blessing. Playing San Fran or Packers, either way, it would have been great for us. Even, I was even ready to play the Rams this week. I wouldn't have even minded playing the Rams.
I mean, right now with the Matthew Stafford injury, I think right now you guys are the clear favorites, and very well should be. With every game going through Seattle and the NFC, this is your opportunity, and you got to seize it. And in this game, I think you will. If San Fran's all healthy, this game would have been a heavyweight fight. But
this would have been an all-timer. I mean, I think fully healthy, the Niners very well could have beat us, but they're not, and they've lost too many key players. And that's not to say this isn't going to be a tough game. It almost feels like they're always tough games. The last game we played them, it didn't feel tough. We shut them down entirely. And I feel like we can simply do it again. The energy in that field is going to be electric. Warner is going to try to play. Warner is not playing. They opened his practice window to have him play in the NFC Championship, and I would actually be happier if they let him play because he's not going to be anywhere near 100%, and he's going to risk re-injury. Let him play. I'm not worried about it. I don't even care if he plays. Even if he does play, they're not talented enough to win this game, unfortunately. Not with where they're at.
And what's up, Lou? The guy that I have to give props to is Robert Saleh, but for coaching up that defense this past weekend.
He's been doing a great job all year.
Yeah, I mean, he just had a tough situation where he formerly coached, but man, can he coach a defense?
He's one of the best defensive coordinators in the league,
hands down.
I mean, he's phenomenal,
and he fits that culture there so well. And I think 49ers culture embodies his personality, a lot. I wouldn't be surprised if it's close early and Seattle pulls away, in the second half.
That's how the last game was too, right?
Like the rust too from that week off. I think they're going to slowly get into the game, Seattle.
I don't think there's going to be a lot of drives. I think it's going to be a lot of run game. You're going to see a lot of run game. And ground and pound. Yeah.
Which is good. I mean.
Yeah. That's the game script we want. I mean, and I don't think – the thing is, and not to disrespect the Niners, but I don't think they can pass on us. No. Our secondary is so good. 2 steals multiple years. We get JSN with pick 20, and then we get Eamon Warrior who falls to us, who was a top talent in that draft, and he had some, character issues. And Mike McDonald and all that coaching staff has done a great job to get his head on right. Yep. And he's a monster. He is literally a monster. He doesn't miss tackles. He is a generational IQ player. I am so happy to have him on this team, and he is going to anchor that defense for years.
100%. And to your point, a guy that might have had off the field issues or whatever, they go into a team with leadership and structure and a winning kind of vibe with them. And look how it transforms somebody, right?
Yep.
If he was in a different situation like the Jets or the Raiders, it might have went a whole
100%.
different, it played out differently.
He would have turned into Henry Ruggs.
Yeah, 100%. And this might be a blowout, but still it's a rivalry game, and
yeah, I think this is the best draw that we could have got, minus the Packers, honestly. So
yeah.
I'm happy with it. I think the Niners are talented. I just don't think they're talented enough to beat us. Not at this stage in the year when we're literally fully healthy off a bye week at home. And we're 6-2 at home. One of our losses to them the first week of the season, and then our other loss, I think, was that bang out game against the Bucks.
Yeah.
And we've been great at home. We've been great, and I know there's a stat that like Brock Purdy's like 4-0 at Lumens, but this is not the same.
No,
not the same.
No, but
just like I think actually Mike McDonald's 4-0 in Santa Clara.
Look at that.
So I think like the stats like flip, but yeah. So are you taking Seattle? I would assume.
Yeah, I'm taking Seattle pretty easily.
Yeah, me too. And then our other NFC game, got the Rams and the Bears.
Ooh.
Yeah, and I think the Bears win this game. Is that crazy?
No, nothing this season would be crazy. Honestly, I'm not mad at that pick. I just still believe in the Rams. Until they prove me otherwise. Like, they're hanging on by a thread, though, man. That they are, pulling games out their ass, and they're not looking as good as they used to. But
I just think Chicago is so poised, and they just find ways to win as well. And it's just so hard for me because to me, if again that Panthers offense can put up 31 points on them, I just don't see how Chicago can't do the same thing. And I think Puka's going to have a monster game, but I just don't see how the Rams are going to score enough points to like stay in this game. Because I think that the Chicago is going to control the clock with their run game as well. They have the double-headed monster over there, a two-headed monster rather, with their running backs as well.
Yeah.
Monungai and Swift are uber talented. Monungai's a 7th-round pick. Kids come out and play with his heart out. Yeah. And, Swift's great in the pass game as well. It's just hard. I wonder what the line – I didn't really see what the line was for this game. It's Chicago plus 3.5. That's with them being at home, so it's really like a 7-point game.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody had the Panthers losing by 3 to the Rams, and they played their hearts out. And, again, Chicago Bears play with more grit than those Panthers do.
Yeah.
I think this is going to be a high-scoring game as well, though.
Yeah. And if there's weather involved, like, I don't know if it's going to snow or wind.
It'll be like 15 degrees when this game plays or something like that is what I had heard. It's going to be freezing.
Yeah, it's the night game, so you're going to.
And my thing is, if even if Stafford, because it's his pinky, which is his spiral finger,
Yeah.
Or his index. Sorry, I said that backwards. It's his index, which is his last finger to come off the ball.
Yes.
If that's swollen in any way, shape, or form, I don't care what you're on. You're gonna start feeling that. And we saw how he looked after he hurt his hand in the second half of that game. He made some good throws, and he made the throws when he had to, but they didn't capitalize the way that you would have expected them to in the second half of that game. I don't know. I just think this game's going to be a barn burner. And they got the over-under at like 48, and I feel like the over-under should be at least at like 56 in this game.
Yeah, I would slam the over in this game.
Yeah. I don't care how cold it is.
Yeah. It's
so
cold for the defense, too.
Yeah. You're going to go Rams on this game then?
Yeah, I think the Rams win a close game, but again, it's
Yeah,
a
18
fine
degrees feeling
margin.
like 6.
Whew. And
Yeah.
to your point too, like in that cold weather, if you do have a hand injury and then it's exposed, you
Yeah.
know, it's gonna make it worse.
And if he has to wear any wrap or anything,
Yeah,
it's harder to
splint.
throw in the cold weather than
Yeah.
it is in any other weather. Like you're gonna get stiff. Um, I don't know. This is me another one where I take Chicago. I think
Uh-huh.
I take them by 3. I think they're just gonna win another gritty game. I would personally, for me, I would love the Rams to win just because I think it'd be super cool to see the Rams and the Seahawks play to go to the Super
Yeah.
Bowl.
Yep.
Um, because not to disrespect the Bears, and this isn't me saying that I think the Bears are better than the Rams, and then that we're better than the Rams and the Bears, but I think the Bears are the easier matchup of the two. I
Yes.
just think that this will be Chicago taking advantage of a banged up Rams as well.
Uh-huh.
Just like I think quite frankly, I think if we played the Rams this week, I think we would beat them as well.
Uh-huh.
Um, so it's just that aspect of it, and we'll see how Stafford looks outside of the dome.
Yeah. I mean, the only thing he has in his favor is that he's familiar with playing outdoors in that division.
Yeah, that's true.
Uh and he's used to playing banged up. Um, his toughness is not in question. It's just
Yeah, I agree.
execution, right? That's we're in the playoffs where everything is magnified. So the slightest injury could be the difference in throwing a pick and throwing a touchdown. It's
Yeah. Yeah, and they should have won that game last year, but again, they should have. They didn't. That's the reality of it. And those are the games you have to win. And obviously Stafford has won the big one, right? Like
yeah,
the year he got traded over there, they went and won. Like he can do it, and they definitely have the talent to do it. I just think it's one of those things where, luckily for Chicago, I think they're a bit more healthy.
yeah,
Um, Whereas, well, I guess DJ Moore, even DJ Moore not playing doesn't really matter. CJ Gardner Johnson, questionable. They have some questionables, right? But then, Dotson, I think, is still hurt, and everyone wants to blame that on Derek Hall. I'm like, bro, go watch the video. The guy didn't even step on him. Puna Ford, questionable. That's a big for the defensive line, and then they lose Witherspoon. They just got more hurt as that game happened compared to what happened to the Bears.
uh-huh.
So, yeah, I think it's going to be Chicago by 3, but you never know. These games are always crazy.
Yeah, honestly, like besides like the Niners Seahawks game, any of these other games could go. Well, I think Houston's gonna win
Yeah,
outright
I think
too by a lot.
Houston's going to slam them personally.
But the first and the last game have the margins are very very thin.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I think they're going to be games where we're like, you know what? It's going to be the fourth quarter, and we're going to be like, dude, this is a toss-up either way still.
Yeah,
I don't think it's going to be like, oh, Buffalo's winning by 30 or losing by 30, and the same with Chicago and the Rams. I don't think either team's going to be up by like 24 points, and we're like, oh, this game's over.
yeah, I totally agree.
So, do you want to hop over to the college football finals? You want to talk about the two
Yeah, let's
games?
get there. Yeah.
Because we had the crazy Miami game with the no pass interference called, huh?
Hey, there was bad
I know,
calls throughout
I'm
the
just kidding.
game, but
I thought that was the funniest thing.
yeah, I mean, it shouldn't come down to one play anyway.
No,
But yeah,
that was a banger, and exactly what I said happened. If Miami could put up 31, they win the game. What do they put up? 31 to win the game. Carson
yep,
Beck walks into the end zone. That gives them the lead with a minute left. And honestly, I'll be frank with you. If Trinidad had 30 more seconds, they might have won that game. He was moving that ball down the field, and honestly, that questionable call at the end of the game, both players pushing off, could have been called either way, on the
yeah,
PI. Um, But if he had a couple more plays, Trinidad could have easily got him into scoring range as well,
Uh-huh.
Um, that was a crazy game. How were your emotions? How were you feeling watching that game? What were your thoughts?
I mean, I always thought that we were going to win the game. Uh, I thought we had the better team going in, and that's not taking anything away from Ole Miss because they're a hell of a team.
Yeah.
I really like their team a lot, but Miami has character. They have something about them that they're fighters. They're gritty. That defense has come alive, and they make the big plays when they need to. They come up with a big stop when they need to, and Carson Beck played a pretty clean game. All he really needs to do is manage the game. You don't really
Yeah.
have to do much. Not saying that in the final he's going to have to do that. He's going to have to do a little bit more than manage the game.
I think they're going to get – I mean, I know it's your team. I think they're going to get shit stomped by Indiana. I think Indiana is far and away. This is one of those years where, there's a clear number one team, and it
Yeah,
is them. You guys are a Cinderella story, and if you win, it is so awesome because you go from people questioning if you should even be in to winning the national championship, a 10 seed to winning.
yeah,
But, I mean – the way Ole Miss played against y'all, I just think Indiana is a more complete team than them, and their defense is insane too. This is what we talked about it post show last week. This is what the number 2 and the number 4 defense in the nation going at it as well.
yeah.
Was that it? So, I mean,
The, going into the final, right? Sure, this could be the first time national championship is going to have a host.
Host, yeah, that's the
Yeah,
other thing. This is unprecedented to have
it's
home field advantage.
yeah. Miami's going to be playing in Miami.
I'll be there.
Our boy Sean's going to be in the building.
Sending videos and taking photos.
Yeah, and Mendoza's from the Miami area,
Mm-hmm.
so it's a homecoming of sorts for him.
But you gotta feel like, so here's the thing, right? You gotta feel like the home field advantage is gonna be crazy. But did you know that Indiana has the largest alumni fan base out of all colleges?
That is
Isn't that
crazy.
crazy?
Yeah,
They have the largest fan base. So it'll probably be 50-50.
I would assume so.
But I think dude, I can't wait to step in that stadium and just feel that atmosphere because I'm going to be there the whole weekend. I get there Friday. I'm going to be there Saturday, Sunday tailgating, and then Monday we have the game. So, and I think we get to go on the field and shit too. So that'll be cool.
Oh yeah.
But man, I cannot wait to just feel that electricity because I haven't been to a live football. I used to go to Seattle games all the time. I used to fly out to Seattle pre-COVID and go to games, and that energy is just different, right?
Yeah, 12 man.
This is even crazier. This is going to be electric. I mean, you're going to be able to feel it in your bones, I cannot wait for this game. Even if I wasn't going to be there, I wouldn't have been able to wait for this game. This is going to be a monster game between two fantastic teams. I don't even want to talk about the Indiana-Oregon game because that wasn't a game. We gave them the game away. By the second quarter, we had 3 turnovers and they had touchdowns off of every single turnover. That's 21 points alone. And then we missed the field goal going out of the second quarter. It didn't matter. And they come out, get the ball back and score again. We've already talked about Dante Moore going back. I know Lewis mentioned it, but we had a whole conversation about that earlier.
Yeah.
Indiana just looked dominant. They put their foot on the throat and then just kept stepping on Oregon all game long, and that just shows you they don't give a damn. They're going to come out there and they're going to whoop your ass. And here's the thing. They only put up 177 passing yards. They put up 350 yards of offense and put up 56 points. So that goes to show you how many mistakes Oregon actually had because they didn't even have to do anything. And our defense didn't look bad. Our defense was getting put in horrible positions. You know what I mean?
Yeah, short fields, a lot of short fields.
Yeah, Mendoza goes 17 for 20 for 180 and 5 TDs. That's ridiculous. Wild. 5 touchdowns on 175 passing yards. That's not happening.
No.
But that defense again, elite.
Yeah, to be fair, and I'm objective here. Indiana has been the best team all year,
Yeah.
and I give them that. I just can't go against the U.
Yeah, it's just
Um,
like me. I can't say
yeah,
Seattle's not going to win Super Bowl, and I can't. I'm not going to think that you would ever say Oregon or not Oregon. Indiana is going to win. You know, you got
yeah,
to trust your team.
yeah, because at the end of the day, anything can happen, especially in a big game. But
Yeah,
yeah, to Louis' point here, at what point would you have taken Mendoza out?
he would have been out in
Because
the third quarter.
yeah,
I was blown away at the end of the third quarter at the latest. I was blown away that he was still in the game, but I think that's just Signetti's thing. He does not give a damn. He
yeah,
plays his guys. I think that's just how he is. That's how they've been all year. Um,
yeah. And why change who you are, right?
Yeah, I mean that's the thing that they talk about playoff football. A lot of these coordinators try to change the game plan. It's like, why change what got you here? Keep
Yeah,
going with what you got. Let him continue to get that experience and keep playing. I mean, if he got hurt, we'd be talking about it different. Like, why the hell did he have him in? But
yeah,
I just think that's Indiana's play style,
yeah.
honestly. And I think, quite frankly, if they're beating Miami by 55 points, they're still going to have Mendoza until the end of the game as well. It's not
Oh,
going to matter. I don't
especially
think
in
they're
the
going to
final.
beat. I don't think they're going to beat Miami by 55 points. I think it'll be a closer game, but it's going to be an insane game at that. I mean, this Miami stadium is going to be rocking and rolling with fans, man.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, just the atmosphere, like you said, bro. Just soak it all in.
Oh, I guess yeah. I don't think Signetti leaves Indy personally, and I don't think he takes. I mean, here's my thing. Not to hop. We'll get back to what we think about the score. I don't think Pittsburgh is a desirable location to coach at. They're going to be of no quarterback. Their receiver in DK Metcalf, who I'm thankful we traded, is a diva. Their defense is
Yeah,
old as shit. They don't really have. Their positives are they have young running backs, I guess, but like they
yeah.
don't have uh, a good team at all. Like that might be one of the least desirable coaching positions open, actually, which is super
100%.
ironic.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think. What do you think? I don't think it's a good coaching spot, and I don't think Signetti goes there personally.
Yeah, I don't think he goes there either, but I could see why that idea is floated out there. They're going to be casting a wide net,
Yeah,
because Pittsburgh does not like change. You
no,
know, they're going to be getting their fourth coach in their history,
yeah,
which
which
is
is insane to think about.
yeah, stability is their calling card. And
So
I
they're going to want
respect
to
that.
hire someone that's going to be there for a while too. Like they're not just going to hire someone that they want. It's going to be a. I could who I could see going there if he doesn't take an offensive coordinator job is McDonald or
Yeah,
McDaniel. Sorry, I said McDonald. I was thinking Mike in my head. Mike McDaniel. Sorry,
yeah, he can because he's
because
still young enough.
yeah. We'll see if I think. To me, I think the best job for him is the Lions offensive coordinator position. I mean,
Oh
good
yeah,
God,
yeah,
that
yeah.
team would be. They'd utilize JMO and Jameer Gibbs the way they need to be utilized. That team would be terrifying to play against. I'm not going to lie to you.
Yeah,
Um,
and to your point, that's a team that's missing Ben Johnson, right?
yeah, and
They
I think
need it.
McDaniels is a better offensive. Might be one of the best offensive minds in the league as far as like what he schemes and does. You know, um, so that would be interesting. But not to hop around. So you have Miami. What's the score? What do you think the score is going to be?
I think it's going to be a one-score game. Like it's going to come down to the end, and then part of that is wishful thinking. So I just want to put the caveat out there. If Miami does win the game, it's going to be close, and it's because they controlled the football by running and just sustaining long drives and keeping Mendoza off the field.
Yep.
That's the blueprint. That's always been the blueprint with this team, and it's just moving the chains. So I have them winning by like 3 or 4 points.
That's fair. I unfortunately have Indiana winning by like 2 touchdowns. And again,
Which could happen.
that's not saying Miami's bad. I just really do believe that Indiana is that much better than everyone else. Unfortunately,
Yeah.
they are beyond the upper echelon of college teams. Um, and they've showed it. They beat the shit out of Alabama. They beat the shit out of us, and they're probably going to go beat the shit out of Miami. They're just that good,
Uh-huh. Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's fair. Like I can't even argue that.
but I hope it's a good game. Like I said, I'm going to be there. So I want it to be a fun game. I want the environment to be crazy. I want it to be insane. But, you just never know with these two teams because of the way that they're built, right? Like Indy, nitty gritty, good on all sides of the ball, but Miami is elite on defense. So, like,
Yeah, and they have a lot of pros like that.
yeah.
And that's the thing. Like if you're going on paper, they have the more heralded recruits.
Mm-hmm.
And you
By
never
far,
know.
it's not even close
It's
either.
it's,
Is
it's
the thing.
not, and you never know because this isn't a 7-game series. It's a 1 game.
It's one and
Anything
done.
goes.
It's
Yeah.
one and done. And
You
these
know.
teams don't have experience playing each other.
Nope.
This isn't like this is a literal two teams meeting here that have no experience with each other,
Yeah.
So that's the cool part of it.
Yeah. I agree completely.
But yeah, cool. Anything else you want to talk about, and anything that we missed, or?
Well, I mean, this past week, and just to jump around, I mean, do you want to talk about the coaching vacancies a little bit?
Yeah, we can discuss those.
Because I mean, now there's 9 teams that are vying
Yeah,
for coaches with Pittsburgh.
I think there's 8. I've heard pretty certainly that the Harbaugh Giants deal is already done. I think
Okay.
him meeting with the Titans was, I think, a formality to say, hey, I'm already going to sign with the Giants.
Yeah.
I know that there is a slight outside possibility because Matt Ryan and Harbaugh are close that he might have a chance to go to the Falcons, but I think it's pretty much done that he goes to the Giants. But yeah, there's a lot of other positions open. So which one do you want to start with?
I mean, we kind of talked about the Giants and them most likely being the landing spot for Harbaugh. What do you think about Baltimore?
It's tough because there's not I think Stefanski goes there. I think that's where Stefanski ends up. But it's one of those things where McDaniels could decide he wants to go there, and I think that team would be great with him, right? Like he would reinvigorate that offense and they would look cool. That would be a cool offense to watch. I just don't know who else would go there. Like maybe Flores. I mean, I don't know who. To me, it just feels like that's like a perfect Stefanski landing spot. That's just how it feels for me. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, it depends too, right? Because I think Baltimore is big on culture. I think Stefanski is a really good coach and would fit, Baltimore very well. Stefanski could really fit anywhere well.
Yeah, I think also Kubiak
Yeah,
could be in play there.
he could. And don't count out Robert Saleh. I think
Yeah,
hard nose style.
yeah. I just think they want someone more offensive oriented on
Yeah,
that team. If I'm being honest, and that's probably what they need. Is they need an offensive minded coach and a new offensive coordinator, obviously, that really revamp that offense. And that's my only thing, like with what, I don't know.
yeah.
I don't know. Yeah.
And it could go a whole bunch of different ways, right? Once that first domino falls,
Yeah.
it's gonna be kind of like free agency, right? Where theoretically one goes, and now we're gonna see everybody else fall into place.
Yeah.
one of the teams I really don't know what direction they're going in is going to be my Dolphins.
I heard that it might be Shula going over there. I
It
don't know
could
what the
be, but
consensus is, but yeah, I've been hearing Chris Shula a lot.
and I get it. You know, his grandfather is beyond a legend in South Florida. You
Yeah,
know,
Don, right?
winningest coach of all time. Yeah,
Yeah,
Don Shula. Uh, I hope that that's not the only reason why they're going after him. But the only thing I will say is that the last four coaches that the Dolphins had were first time head coaches, and they might want to have a more stable, proven commodity. Um,
yeah, but I feel like if you miss out on like Harbaugh and Stefanski,
well,
who do you maybe get? Sulla? Do you after Sulla then, or
maybe because we got uh, as a GM, uh, Sullivan from the Packers.
yeah?
Um, so
So
he
what do you
has
want? Jeff Halfley or whatever his name is from the Packers because he's been interviewing, right?
Yeah, he's been interviewing, but I wouldn't be surprised if a surprise name comes out like Mike McCarthy. And the the only reason why I say that is because his uh resume is pretty identical to
Yeah,
Harbaugh's. Um and how many people actually could say or coaches could say that they won a
yeah,
Super Bowl? So at the very least, I think he stabilizes the franchise and makes them consistent. And
yeah.
because he what in Dallas he had 3 straight 12-win seasons.
Yeah, oh,
Uh,
yeah. He was, not. He was a scapegoat a lot of the times,
yeah,
but like, it's how it's been for his whole career. It feels like, frankly.
yeah,
I
yeah.
mean,
And you
because
could
wasn't
do a
even like
lot
that with him
worse.
for the Packers too. The
Yeah,
same shit in the Packers. Like he was just the scapegoat, even though like he won there.
yeah,
I don't know. He's had a weird career because like his expectations for a head coach, I feel like his have been like way up here compared to like anybody else, and he gets shit on way more than he should have. In my opinion.
yeah. No, 100%. And he's got about the same winning percentage as Harbaugh, which we're
He has a
praising.
higher winning percentage. I'm pretty sure. Actually, I think
Yeah,
I saw a statistic where it was like 0.02 higher or something.
yeah.
Um,
And look how perception is, right? Like
yeah,
Harbaugh is the guy that's being lauded,
Mhm.
and McCarthy's kind of a forgotten man, but
Yeah,
he's a wild card here, and somebody's. It might not be the Dolphins, but if McCarthy throws his hat in the ring, I think he would be a great get for somebody.
yeah, I can agree with that.
And not to jump around, but I did want to get your thoughts. Cubs signing Alex Bregman.
Oh yeah, I thought that was a horrible signing.
Yeah,
I don't know why he would leave the Red Sox to go play in that Chicago stadium. It makes no sense to me. It's going to be flyouts galore over there. I'm pretty sure for him.
yeah,
Um,
especially early in the season.
he got his money, I guess, but I just did not like the fit. And then Rangers signs to the Red Sox, and I'm like, sure. I don't know how. I feel like that's a lateral move for him. I don't know
Yeah,
why. He might as well just stay with the Phillies. Um, but I didn't like. I don't know. I didn't feel like that was the best landing spot for Bregman. He's
I
just
agree.
he needs to be in a smaller park where he can use his power to pull, and he chose like one of the worst parks to go play in. I don't know. I feel like maybe that's a little critical or harsh, but that's just like my initial reaction until I look into like the deeper metrics of it and stuff. But it just didn't feel super cool.
Yeah,
Like I wasn't thrilled. And then
and
also on that token, D-back Schaefer Arenado as well.
yeah,
I'm like,
hey,
okay,
definitely a retooling there. They're going to keep Marte. They're trading for Arenado.
which is weird because the talks have been them trading Marte for years, and now all of a
Yeah,
sudden they're not trading anybody. I mean, they got a good core though. With Corbin Carroll, Ketel Marte, Promoto or whatever his name is,
oh,
Perdomo,
Perdomo. Yeah,
Perdomo. Yeah, they got like a nice little core as well. Um, and then did you see the Yankees got Ryan Weathers?
Yeah, pretty
That to
good
me
move.
was sneaky, really, really good. I think Ryan Weathers is a top pitcher. Um, I really, really like Ryan Weathers. I own him in fantasy. He was hurt. He was hurt on and off all year, but dude, he's got some nasty stuff.
Now he's got
Um,
stuff.
and then the other
Pretty,
big news today. Did you see the Mets offered Tucker a $50 million a year deal?
yeah.
So maybe he ends up in the Mets. I thought that he would end up with the Dodgers and Yankees, but
And this is the problem, and I got to say it as a Met fan. Uh, you let Pete walk out the door,
yeah, I hate it. I hate it personally.
and and then you're ready to offer Kyle Tucker. And
50
Kyle
million a
Tucker's a
year.
great player. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, he's fantastic when he's healthy.
Yeah, he is injury prone. Pete was steady. He hardly got hurt. He hardly missed time, right? You can count on Pete. And
Yeah.
for you to now show the people that, yeah, we're gonna throw, 50 million a year at Kyle Tucker, who's I
But I
saw that
think
they
it
want a
was a
fourth year.
short-term deal, though, right? It was like a
Yeah,
short deal.
for 3 years, and they're looking
Yeah.
for a fourth.
Like, okay. Well, did you see also the Blue Jays offered him?
Yes.
Dude,
And
if he goes to the Blue Jays, I'm serious, and I've said this last week too. The Blue Jays might be the best team in MLB.
yeah, I mean, look, man, they had the World Series in their grasp, right?
Yeah. Yeah,
And
and they added talent galore. They didn't lose anybody, and they got Dylan Cease. They got the two kids from Japan.
yep.
They got the one guy from the KBO. They had another signing as well, and if they add Kyle Tucker, I mean,
Yeah.
good God, forget about it.
Yeah. And you know what? We have to applaud the Blue Jays for going for it, right?
Yeah,
So many teams in the league play it safe. They just go through the motions. And
Pirates.
I'm looking at the Pittsburgh Pirates. We're talking to you specifically.
Yeah, literally one of the most talented pitching staffs in the MLB, and you can't pay anybody or sign a damn bat. Go sign one of these mega stars out there. Jesus, you signed two of them, and you're a World Series contender automatically because you got Paul Skeens, Bubba Chandler, and like five other young kids I can't even name off the top of my head, but they're deep as shit for a pitcher.
Like you don't think that they could get at the very least Eugenio Suarez on a short-term deal?
Yeah, absolutely, they could.
And,
They could
and
literally be a top team.
Flip him at the deadline if need be.
Yeah, they piss me off. I'm not gonna lie. The Pirates piss me off, bro. I hate their philosophy, their mentality, the way that they operate from a management point of view. Because you have some of the most talented. To me, they're a top 3 pitching staff in the MLB. Frankly,
Yes.
And ironically enough, I think that the Miami Marlins are also a top 3 pitching staff in the MLB, and they don't
Without
spend
question.
any money either. It's just ridiculous to me, man.
Although they made a really under the radar move though, but with the Cubs by getting their top prospect. And,
With getting Cassie Owens, I think it is. Yeah, they did trade one of their top pitchers, but the dude can't stay healthy either.
Yeah.
Why am I blanking on his name?
Oh, Cabrera.
Edward Cabrera. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fireball cannon, but they have so many players in the pipeline that it doesn't even matter for them. They got 2 kids that can come up this year, and they'll be all stars.
Yeah.
They're so deep at pitcher. But I think we need to wrap it up. We're getting yelled at here.
Oh yeah, but
that was a quick 2 hours, man. That was awesome.
It flew by, right?
It did. I mean, I feel like I feel like next week we got to dive into baseball a little bit more because, I mean, we will be able to because there'll be less football games. But man, baseball is coming quick. I'm excited for baseball.
Let's go.
Yes, sir.
But everybody that is in the building with us, thank you for spending your time with us. Don't forget to hit like, comment, subscribe. Like all and subscribe to all the shows on the network. You know what I'm saying?
Johnny
And
boy.
yeah,
This guy,
Johnny.
bro.
Yeah,
But
it
yeah,
wouldn't be a show without Johnny Boy talking his
no,
smack, right?
absolutely not. But we will see y'all next week. Abby will be back. It won't just be friends. But thanks for tuning in. Like you said, like, subscribe. And every week, Wednesday, 9:30 p.m. EST, we are here. Thanks for tuning in, y'all.